Hello, me hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one just for you, bringing you 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment live from Scottie McClue. Hashtag FloatI, first lord of the internet. Hope you're well. Glad to have you with us. Come and join us, of course, Saturday night. Nothing gets past me, as we know. The Italian government's just joined us. Welcome, I say to you. And Sean Fitzpatrick has joined as well. Hello, Sean. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. We did pop up earlier today, and there's lots and lots of new videos for you. You look so beautiful today. Oh, I thank you, STR. So kind of you. How are we doing? DINKY-DOO, Elliot, we're very fine. Scottie McClue here just for you, Mr. McClue. Yes, that's what we like. Good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Susan has just joined us. Lovely to have you with us, I say. The Jambos got tanked today, Scottie. Sandy the Jambo, am I not right in thinking there was a goal for Rangers in the first couple of minutes? Handsome as always. Oh, I mean, you're very kind. I say to you, F document, DINKY-DOO. Hello, Scottie, one and all. Hello, Kareem. So glad you could join us. Welcome to our Saturday evening show tonight. I say to you, tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Let everybody know that we're up. That's what it's all about. Hi, Aidan. How are you doing? How are you? More importantly, never mind me. How are you? This is your show. Morning, Lord Duke of Dundee, Onion Baji, down under in Australia, where it must be 9 o'clock in the morning. Is that right? Hello, sir, DINKY-DOO. Hello, Amy, DINKY-DOO. Hola, mi amigo. Neil O'Gormley from Paisley originally, and now from Bournemouth. Hola, amigo. Lots and lots of wonderful people. Sandy Black, a very good to have you with us. Aidan says, I'm very good, thank you. Excellent stuff. We love that. Everybody follow right now. Up to the top left, tap the plus. Yes, indeed. If you're on the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Rangers or Celtics, says Kyle. Kyle, the best advice I can give you is to go and watch them both play and then make a decision if you don't have a background in either of the teams. I tell you. I love your hat. It's so cool. How are you doing, pal? Says Sky. DINKY-DOO Sky. Lovely to have you with us. Okay, bye. Bye, Kyle. There we go. Excellent stuff. Good advice for Kyle. Correct, Scottie, but not as quick as Derek Johnson's goal in the Scottish Cup final in 76. Yes, I know Derek. Absolutely wonderful guy. Scottie, good to see you on. Pablo, how lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO, I say. That's what it's all about. Hold on a wee second. Just having to sort something out here. That's fantastic. Oh, wonderful. We love that. That's what it's all about. There we go. Now, what do we got here? I'm on night shift 5 p.m. to 5:30. Sugarly says, DINKY-DOO Scottie. Scottie from friend, best wishes, good health. Darren in Nottingham. We love you in Nottingham, Darren. What a top man you are. God bless the glorious kings. Absolutely, G-Mac. Shalom, brother. Shalom, Kareem. Lovely to have you with us. What tartan's your cap? We think it's black watch. So there you are. Thank you, sir. Not at all, Darren. Thank you. It's so lovely to have you with us on a big DINKY-DOO. I say to you, we never stroll, we never troll. Saturday night, Scottie McClue, just for you. Hashtag FloatI. I'm from Nottingham, says Angela. I know Angela. I've seen you on from Nottingham for a long time. I hope you've had a really good day today, Ruby. I've had a beautiful day today. The Black Watch is an amazing battalion. Yes, there will probably be a battalion. They are actually a regiment, but there's probably about battalion strength now. What's the history of the Clan Mackintosh? Well, I know the Sweeties very well. So that would be son of Tosh. There we go. Now, what have we got here? We'll find out where the Macintoshes are from. Scottie, were you on Still Game? No, I wasn't, Dean, but apparently I was the original inspiration for it. We like that. Now, how are we all doing here? I say to you, a tuppence, says Ben Montgomery. There we are. Thank you, Ben. Tuppence. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Very moving song from. Anybody remember what that one was from? Come on then, let's get going. The Macintoshes are Creef. Yes, Macintoshes and Murrays are very big in Creef as well, I tell you. So there we are. Thank you, 16 tons. The tartan was banned from the Saracen's Head. Why is that, John? Tell us more about that. Because it was they were regarded as the government police. So there we are. Now, what do we got here? Where are the Lennox free? Well, the Lennox will be from Lennox, but there's Lennox Love House in East Lothian, just outside Haddington or Haydonton. Now, Seb, I think what we'll do is just ban you for even that kind of thinking. All right, so guys, check out Seb and lifetime ban. Lifetime ban for Seb. There he goes. Gone. Right, that's the end of that. I have to just, anybody that tries on something like that, trying to get you to say something, just get them off and away they go. There we are. I'm a McPartlin. I think it was McFarlane's. We're from, yes, the McFarlanes. Absolutely. Where are you from, big boy? Ben, big boy, I am from the universe. Yes, indeed. Hope your day's been good. Yes, indeed, Gaming Centre. Can we all follow Scottie McClue right now? I say to you. Now, who have we got here? Lindsay, DINKY-DOO, lovely to have you with us, I say. Guys, we need another 50 followers right now. 50. Up to the top left, click the plus sign. That's what it's all about. Hi from Guatemala. How are things in Guatemala? There we are. Can you give Danny a shout out? Hi from Lark Hall. Have you heard of Greenock? I was brought up in Greenock, born in Greenock. Good evening. Good to see you again. You're a top man, Tam. You are a top man as well. I tell you, that's what it's all about. So there we are. Sounds like you're from Clackmannanshire, says Ben. Yes, very good. We like that, Clackmannanshire. That would be Alloa. That's Clackmannanshire, isn't it? Whereabouts in Greenock? Corey, how do you mean whereabouts in Greenock? Doing the Swanee with Seb? Gideon, Seb is history. That's the last time we'll try that. That's too posh for Greenock. Not at all. We're very, very, very posh in Greenock. This is the way all Greenockians speak. Don't ban me, Scottie. Everywhere I go ends in tears. Sandy the Jambo. Why would I ever ban you, I say? There we are. Happy Flugo. DINKY-DOO to you. Are you ignoring me, says Ari? Well, obviously not. So there we go. Now, what else have we got here? Oh, telephones. Off to the telephones. You're live at Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, Scottie, it's Kareem. How you doing?
Kareem, how are we, la? Lovely to hear you.
Well, thank you. How are you, Scottie?
Very well, yes. Good stuff. Lots happening, Kareem. Lots happening world-wise. Lots happening we can talk about. Lots happening that would probably be wise not to talk about, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, Scottie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, the big picture.
Yes. Well, I'd be asking a question. Why is it when we have Russia invading Ukraine that it's absolutely diabolical? There has to be sanctions. Europe's against it, the UK, America. But when we see the atrocities that's happening within Palestine, that it's really showing that how colonisation and how the old ways of thinking still exists in this day and age with the UK and America. It's disgusting.
Well, you see, it's because of the melting pot, Kareem, that it's caused the problem. Britain, as you know, was a huge imperialist colonial power. And they made sure they had bases, strategic bases, in places like Gibraltar and Aden. They were in Egypt. They controlled the Suez Canal. They'd set the Suez Canal up, and then Nasser got in. And over the years, everybody shouted, Britain out. They're imperialists. We want them out. The world is not free with Britain and all that stuff. So there was so much hatred stirred up for Britain that Britain decided just to get out because they weren't making big enough profits. So, you know, they left Palestine and was at 1948. Then the Suez Canal was nationalized by Nasser in 56. And Britain's power was gradually, you know, how can I say, it was diminished. And then Aden, we got out of Aden in 68. We're still in Gibraltar. But the strategic bases, plus the fact that you get around the world by air power now rather than sea power, unless you're moving, you know, very big loads like oil, gas, containers, etc., etc. So who's going to be the world's policeman has always been the thing. Now, that's a double-edged sword. Superpowers love to police the world because they're in charge and they get the biggest rake off of the money. But with that comes another side to it. So there's a cost, and the cost is usually that people shoot at them and fire at them and do them down. So the British getting out of Africa was really because Russia wanted to get its hands on Africa, because Africa and India are where the big money is. The Middle East, where the big money is, the oil, the diamonds, the gold, all the precious metals, the stuff for the batteries, for the electric cars. So it's all driven by money, by capitalism, and a lot of it now by pure greed. You see? So that's the problem you've got. Kyle, you need to stop spamming us. We'll have to mute Kyle for spamming. So there we go.
You could see that already within Palestine, that they've already started drilling for the oil that Palestine owns.
Yes.
You know, I think it's disgusting, and I think the world, it just really actually shows how powerless we can be, in my view.
Well, America used to just wave the big stick, you know, and that was everything sorted. But the problem is America's stick's not as long and as thick as it was. You see, and that's becoming a problem. But they still go in and say, look, we better get our claws into this Ukraine place, because there's a lot. Ukraine's a breadbasket. Ukraine's got oil, gas, the lot. So they're pushing in there. So they overturned the president of Ukraine, put their own guy in, and you know, then Mr. Putin thought, listen, I'm just getting a wee bit anxious about you guys. You're getting a bit close to my patch here. You know? And he's not short of a bob or two. He's got all the oil and gas. But countries like, well, in fact, a good bit of Europe was heavily dependent on Russia. You know? And this is the problem. This is the problem. They're all dependent on each other, and instead of sitting around the table and divvying up, they think, well, let's fight it out. And we know that doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. Yes, it would get rid of the flower of our youth, which for some reason, you know, top capital, you know, the capitalists with the most money don't like the youth of the world. And I've never understood that, because they're the future.
Absolutely. You know? If we look closer to home, Scottie, we can see the shambles as well with what's happened. You know, I always come back to, if I'm moving to the Scottish independence, right, when we can see all the shenanigans that's going on down south.
Yes.
They still want to be part of that. When we see how the SNP were treated this week and the dodgy deals with the Labour leader and the House Speaker. And again, all that always seems to be accepted up here. However, if there's anything minute, like the ferries up here, they shout and scream and moan about it.
Oh, yes, they've got to do. I mean, I was reading a headline today, and it was just utter bunkum. I won't tell you what the paper is, but it was utter bunkum. And for some reason, that media lot, all that's going to happen is they're not going to sell any of their papers.
I think the evidence is there, Scottie, that a lot of these papers, their sales are going down and down, and it's because people can see how they're being biased.
They see through it, yeah.
And
in fact, what's going to happen, Kareem, and I have warned people, because McClue's very good at delivering a warning, do you see? And I have warned people, I've said, look, A, your core business won't be there, and B, you will no longer be the mainstream media. You see, you will no longer be the mainstream media. And that's, once they lose that position, once the mouthpiece is no longer trusted, the game's up. And of course, what happens? As they sell fewer and fewer and fewer papers, they lay off the quality journalists.
Yeah.
You see? And then they try and say, could you give us a shilling to read it on the website? People say, no, absolutely not. I saw that on my phone this morning. Saw that in my phone this morning. Saw that in my phone last week. Yeah.
I think that this has hopefully opened the eyes of people down south with this Labour surge, because I read somewhere that Labour are not the party for what they were in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
They're certainly not the party, and although they weren't that good, they're certainly not the party that they were in the 90s. And at the moment, you can see Keir Starmer. And I will say he's Mr. U-turn, because everything he says, he's said the opposite, he's done the opposite. And if you've seen the dirty tricks that this man is willing to do, and he's not even in power, he's not even the Prime Minister yet, wait until he gets his hands in number 10. I mean, with the Tories, we know what the Tories are like, you know what you get with a Tory, but where you Labour is just now, Scottie, they really cannot be trusted. And I really hope that Scotland wakes up and stops blaming the Scottish.
Well, I think it's interesting. The only party I would trust at the moment, and I'm no politician, as you know, and I'm absolutely apolitical, but the best of the bunch is actually the Scottish one.
Yeah.
That's the best of the bunch. That's the ones that have the most integrity. And although they've tried to get they've managed to get both First Ministers, the last two First Ministers, they managed to get them out. I don't think the desire for independence of Scotland has weakened. I think it's strengthened. Because the last time I looked, it was around 57%, the proper figure.
Scottie, I think when you see these polls that they're all Tory run companies, and they can manipulate. So you'd have to ask the question: what's the actual real percentage? It'll be a lot higher.
Well, I would say it's certainly 57%, and it might be north of that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to tell me that the Scots trust the present mob in Westminster. You're not going to tell me that they're looking forward to the present opposition coming in, because that's just not true.
I'll give you an example of that, Scottie. At the moment what the Scottish government has given funding to councils not to put a council tax increase because of the cost of living. But we have the Argyll and Bute Council have raised theirs. They've ignored the government and they've raised it by 10%. And this is a Conservative, I think it's a Conservative Lib Dem or Labour that they have joined together to make sure the SNP do not run that council. And I just think, if we're seeing this just now, and then more than people are still willing to vote for these parties, what else does it take for people to wake up? They're complaining about that 10%. 10% is massive on the council bills at the moment. It's not just a Scotland issue with the council tax. It's a UK issue. If you look at Birmingham, They have raised theirs by 20%. I'll say that again, 20%.
Yeah, but I think they had to. Were they not bankrupt?
They are bankrupt. In Scotland, you're not allowed to be, whatever the rules is, the Barnett formula, whatever Westminster put up. We cannot make ourselves bankrupt. It's just not going to happen. But so many councils down south now are bankrupt. And it really amazes me that so many people up here aspire the councils, this country, to follow in England's footsteps. You know, we hear people complaining about potholes and the bin service. My God, if things were to be bankrupt, we would really know all about it. And you'll know the 70s and 1970s, Scottie, that was true poverty, but that was brought under Tory and Labour at that time, keeping Scotland down. And from the last, since SNP actually came into power, standards have risen, and I think people have had it too good here, and they've forgotten what it used to be like, and that, I'm afraid, might be around the corner for this
country. You
see,
they wrecked the railways. The Tories wrecked the railways in 1964-65. Now, what they were saying, they were shutting branch lines in England, but they didn't realise what a superb integrated transport system the railways are for Scotland. You know? And we really need to open that up a lot more and get back to rebuilding the railways and the ferries, so that you've got that integrated transport policy, which you used to have with the Caledonian Steam Packet Company and David McBrain 1928 Limited.
Look at China, Scottie, that they have, within the last 10 years, you know, they have some of the best motorway systems in the world now. They've got the best transport, and they've passed Japan, who have always been high-tech and outstanding with their bullet trains, but China now has overtook in so many fields. And, you know, and I just think, even the whole of the UK, and this is not just Scotland, we are getting further and further and further behind the rest of the world. And it's just, you know, if the people are listening that have such pride in the British Empire, I'm sorry, is now becoming a laughingstock, because the country's falling apart, but the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Yeah, they're always going to do well. I mean, it's all that sort of stuff, you know. Let's see if we've got an election coming, bring down the power costs, then shove them up again, because it's all the lobbying, it's all the money. It would be very interesting if we got another system of currency, like, you know, was it in New Zealand, the power shell? Have I got this right? The Maoris, shells were the currency. Do you know what I mean? So it's a currency. You see, we've not got a back currency, although it's interesting. America's not got a gold standard. They came off it. Britain's not got the gold standard, the fiduciary issue in banking. You know, the Federal Reserve dropped out of that when it started up 1913. But China is buying up as much gold as they can. So they're obviously going to go back onto the gold standard, and their currency is going to be solid.
Yeah, it's scary. My final thought, for I would say, if the UK has to survive, and if Labour, you know, gross it and get a spine, I don't think Keir Starmer's going to last long as Prime Minister. I do think, as he stabbed Jeremy Corbyn in the back, something like that will happen.
Well, Corbyn was very close to getting into power, and whatever you thought of Corbyn or his politics, the guy he was on the level, you know. What about this one, Kareem? Here's a comment here from Swamp Monster. Get the SNP out of Scotland. Now, where's the thinking in that?
Sadly, that's a prime example of somebody with no thinking, no education.
Yeah, where's the thinking in that? They've been in Scotland for 12, 13 years, and Scotland's managed to balance its books pretty well when you think that they're only getting some of their own money back from Westminster.
Scottie, that's it in a nutshell, but these people don't seem to think about that. And that's why I said earlier on that they've had it too good, because if they were under Westminster rule overall, like in the past, then it would be the sheer poverty to coming back like we've seen in the
completely
70s,
forgotten.
where it's
Absolutely. Go. Kareem, I'm going to dash on. Lovely to hear you. And Dinky-Doo, sir.
Scottie, thanks very much for taking my call, and speak to you next week. Thanks
Bless
a
you.
lot.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Kareem. There we are. That's our Kareem. Always a good call. Do you know what I mean? Always political. You know, let's have it straight. Pretty well, always political, but a very, very good call, nevertheless. Right, what have we got here, all you beautiful people? Hi, Scottie, #1 van driver, #1 show as ever. What do you think of the demonstration in Glasgow today about the potholes? Pothole City. Why are we paying road tax? Jerry, if you pay your council tax, I was thinking about your waste, your blue bin, your brown bin. You give the council your recycling. They're getting money from it. So here's my plan. The more you recycle, Jerry, the more you recycle, you pay less for your council tax. What do you think? Good one, Jerry. Hi, Jerry and Susan. So they're having a wee chat there. My Paisley daughter married a Greenock man in Bournemouth. Neil, how remarkable, I tell you. So there we are. Lovely call from Kareem there. Guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please make sure you are subscribed. So there we are. So Swamp Monster, what do you mean by get the SNP out of Scotland? Why would you want to do that? So there we go. Very strange. You seriously need to read Robin McAlpin's articles about the SNP, Scottie, and he's Annette. Sandy the Jambo, I'm quite sure, but remember, you're old Labour, Sandy, and you're also that wee touch myopic that goes with being old Labour. So you'll never, ever change, and Labour could do anything they like, and you would still think it's okay because they're Labour, but they're pulling the wool over your eyes, Sandy, and they've been doing it for years. Mr. Blair was the man that sorted you, I tell you. Scotland needs a party that's truly for the people of Scotland and not out for themselves. Happy Flugel, I think it might have to be the Scottie McClue party then. I'm the only man that's not out for himself. There you go, and I've proved it. I tell you. Now, what have we got here? I think I pay my tax, I pay my rent. The SNP has ruined Scotland. In what way have they ruined Scotland? And to add, get Tory out too. So you don't want the Tories, you don't want the SNP. Do you want Keir Starmer's Labour Party branch office? Is that what you're after? Dinky-Doo to you, sir. You too, Sean. So there we are. Martin, stop this. We don't give addresses or I'll ban the pair of you. So there we are. I'm just going to have to mute your account just to put a stop to all that. Mon the Jambos, says Sky. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, thanks to my call. Not at all, Kareem. Excellent call. They all lie, says Sly Park. Well, I think that goes with the money thing because they don't want to appraise the people of everything that's going on. You know, well said, Scottie. Labour are a disgrace, says JHT. Good man, JHT. I know you're a good man. The Scottish accent's probably the best in the entire world, so Sean. Sean, I have to agree with you there. Yes, indeed. We love it. You get Labour in, you get the Greens, and lives ruined. The SNP has ruined the ferries. So there we are. Well, the SNP hasn't ruined the ferries. They've tried to see if they can sort out a huge challenge. And I can tell you the background to this, because I know all about the Caledonian Steam Packet Company, and I know all about David McBrain 1928 Limited and the Scottish Transport Group. So when I was wee, you could get all the steamships from the Caledonian Steam Packet. You could get the railways tied up with it in Scotland. It had been the old Caledonian Railway, and 1880s, so my grandfather's time. And they'd extended it to Europe. Then you had the steamships running from Glasgow right up the west coast. So what you would do, you could get a steamship from 7:11 in the morning at the Broomielaw, the Columba, paddle steamer, on it, the post office, the barbers, plenty of food, plenty of drink. and you could get her to Ardrishig at 1 o'clock. You would get what was called the Linnet through the Crinan Canal by 4 o'clock. Then you would get, was it the Chevalier? There would be a steamship at Crinan that took you to Oban. Do you see? And this was probably pre the rail link from Queen Street to Oban. So even now, you would have a tremendous setup. Places like Lochgoilhead, Aracha, Kilcreggan, Clinder, Helensburgh, all beautifully served. Craigendoran, Gourock, Greenock. Yes, now you're talking. Govan. Yes, the Crinan Canal, Jerry, good man. The Crinan Canal for me, I don't like the wild raging sea. I think it terrific to cross the Pacific or go to Japan or Fiji. You can go for a stroll in its banks to loosen your muscle-bound shanks. You can darren your socks while you're still in its locks. The Crinan Canal for me. There you are. Do you like that? That was from a record called Highland Voyage with Roddy McMillan, John Grieve. Who else is on it? Duncan McCrae. Marvellous stuff. Alex McAvoy. I'm as rough as toast, Scottie. A shout out for my friend Kama to get back on the swelly. Scottie, what about Israel political agents paying both the red and the blue Tory MPs? Well, yes, are we hear about that? We don't know. Remember me, Dinky-Doo? Yes, indeed. Police are about to, oh, wow, interesting, very, very good. Have you ever been to Forfar? I know Forfar very, very well. Papa Houston says, Scottie, why you ignore me? Because I don't, that's why. Has anyone noticed the shrinkflations on the packs of rice? So there we are. A little bit lighter, I tell you. Now, what have we got here? The SMC party, says Jerry, the Scottie McClue party. Should I stand as an independent? I tell you. Scottie, I think we look similar. I think so, Papa Houston, yes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Look at the time. My goodness sake. Now, Scottie, have you got merch yet? No, the badges. The badges, well, look at the badges. I haven't got enough followers. People are slow at following. We need 1 million followers. Bring back the monster raving loony party. That was Screaming Lord Such, David Such. Great character. What about Kirriemuir? Scary place. A window in Thrums. The birthplace of J.M. Barrie. Webster's Seminary. Webster's High School. Yes, and there's also, is there not Webster's Theatre in Kirriemuir? We love it. I tell you, guys. Yes, stand and deliver, Scottie. Absolutely. That's what I always tell the pizza man. The old highwayman adage. Stand and deliver. Right, we're needing another 50 followers right now. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Now, I've only got 2,000 likes, guys. The 41,000 in an hour is the record. I tell you, you're getting back on the phone in, Scottie. Rab, we're on the phone right now if you want to ring in. Just over 30,000, says Sean. I know, Sean. We need more than that. 30,000 I've got, so I need 1 million. Why are people so slow at following? Everybody with a TikTok account should follow. Everyone who with access to YouTube should subscribe. Oh, and by the way, subscribers, sometimes 1 or 2 of you disappear. Now, I think it's because you get too many notifications. Don't unsubscribe. Sort out your notifications. Otherwise, you'll just miss out. Respect, sir. And to you, Sean. I tell you, I used to get 250,000 per half hour listening on the radio. I think we'll win tomorrow, Scottie. Kick off 12 noon. What's tomorrow? Tell me more, Jerry. What about the rugby? Stephen Flynn is a top man, says John Donnelly. Well, he did very well this week, I tell you. wearing my Swiss Alpenflag cap tonight. Were you in the Alpenflag? What is that? Is that crack troops? My dad listened on the radio. Ah, Sean, yes. Wow, Scottie, we look similar. Morgan, we do. I'm just admiring your bonnet here. How amazing is that? On to the telephones, guys. 0141 628 9795. Liverpool versus Chelsea. That'll be a game and a half. Scottie, Rangers or Celtics is Des. Des, the best advice I can give you is go and see them both play and then just make a decision if you've not got any background in one or the other. So there we have it, I say. This is so strange, says Morgan. Oh, Morgan, strange doesn't even cover it. I tell you, fantastic stuff. Now, who we got here? Hey, brother, Rock Protector says, hello there. So there we are. Up the Arsenal, says F document, AFC. I went to Arsenal's ground in London to, surprisingly, to audition for Big Brother. And I got into the final choices. Trixie says, hello, Scottie. Hello, Trixie. DINKY-DOO. Are you single, says Morgan. Well, I'm sort of going steady, Morgan, you know. The Real FM phone in, they were class, Scottie. I was never off it. Brilliant. You should bring it back. Rab, I can't bring it back because I don't have a radio station. You know, there's Richard Tan, the true gifter. Richard, you are absolutely amazing in the gifts. So there we are. Are you a bachelor, Scottie? I'm a Bachelor of Arts. There we are. There we go. See that one. Type of camouflage incorporating the Edelweiss. Ah, JD, the Edelweiss. We love it. Yes. So you could hide in the Edelweiss and sing it and nobody would know you were there. Edelweiss. What would it take for Scottie to get his own radio station? Well, I would need to be backed by people that knew what they're doing. I virtually had my own radio station at one point, but we had a terrible stewardship problem. So there we are, a very, very difficult setup, caused by, let's not go there. There we are. Scottie McClue, love you, ya legend. Rab, thank you. It's good, though, still to be going after 32 years. And this year is 40 years since I started reading the news on ITV. So there we go. Now, did you watch the rugby today, Connor? I never got a chance to see it. I was tied up with stuff today. Tom Phillips, DINKY-DOO, la, lovely to have you with us. You should say to the ones that annoy you on here, Scottie, remember The Apprentice. You're fired. Then block them. Absolutely, I tell you. The Sound of Music. Good one, Sean. Absolutely love it. Yes, spot on. Captain Von Trapp. My favorite one on that, though, I adore the whole musical. Somebody said recently that because of it, the Nazis and stuff like that, it wasn't fashionable. Get stuffed. Get knotted. What about a TV show, Scottie? You'd smash it. Rab, television at night, the Scottie McClue show in Scotland. Huge. But it's very difficult. I don't know if the television people, if they're just sort of risk averse. There is no risk with Scottie McClue. We know it's proven. We know it'll be huge. Maybe they just don't want a big audience. So it attracts too much attention. But a television show at night, 1 hour of Scottie McClue, huge. Scottie, would you ever consider a P.O. box? Now, what do you mean by that, Morgan? Tell us more. A P.O. box, post office box. Casually ignore my questions like the true SNP follower, Scottie. The state of Scotland has SNP blood. Swamp, I'm not a true SNP follower. I'm apolitical. So don't ever come out with trash like I'm ignoring your questions like a true SNP follower. Thomas says you're definitely a unionist. Right, so maybe that's why I want Scotland out of the Union, because I'm such a unionist. Indeed, a post office box where we can send you fan art, gifts, etc. Morgan, is that not a beautiful thing to say? I've asked you the same question 4 times. What have you asked me, Swamp Monster? Ask us again. We're very busy on here. You try and do this, what I'm doing, and see how you go. And I'll sit at home and I'll send you things like, why are you ignoring my question like a true SNP follower? I saw you live in the audience with you years gone by. It was brilliant. Cumbernauld. Ah, Rab, you were in the audience. An audience with Scottie McClue. DINKY-DOO. Do you remember Bill Smith from Radio Clyde? I see him now and again, says Jerry. I remember Bill very well. A very nice man. A very nice man indeed. And I've been in the studio when Bill was doing his programs. We used to go to Radio Clyde at New Year. We'd go to Scottish television, and Jack McLaughlin or somebody would be doing the New Year show. And then we would go down to Radio Clyde and join people like Paul Coya or Dougie Donnelly and that sort of stuff, and have a chat in the studio. Well, the studio was packed in those days. And he would be talking to the journalist in Times Square in New York. And then Bill came in to do the late show. Fantastic. There we go. Swamp Monster, we can't discuss that. That's a live case. That's not up for discussion. Do you know? And you know how the law works. People are innocent until proved otherwise. So you're way, way, way out of order, Swamp Monster. You know? And remember, there's all these lobbies to do these things because nationalism, independence is not sitting well with Westminster because they'd lose all that money. Open your eyes and live in the real world, Swamp Monster. Yeah, there we are. Reading too much trash in the tabloids, that's your problem. So there we go. David not on tonight? No, he's not. There we are. DINKY-DOO. I'll tell him next time I see him. Do, Jerry, pass on my regards. Say, Scottie McClue sends regards. Absolutely. DINKY-DOO, Scottie. Alex, DINKY-DOO. How lovely to have you with us. How amazing is this? What a great pop-up. I tell you, a wonderful show tonight. So there we go. Now, what have we got here? DINKY-DOO, Scottie, I've got a new vehicular transport today, says John McD. A Ford Fiesta. Wonderful. Very good car. You can still give me an answer about a question. Of course I can, Small. So ask your question. You're live at Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Hello, Scottish Tom here.
Tom from Belfast. How are you, sir?
I'm all good, lad. Yourself?
I'm great, lad. Just fantastic. So nice to hear you. Proper stuff.
How's things getting on in the real world?
Well, the real world, absolutely amazing. I've been so busy today. I hoped I would get a chance to watch the rugby, but I've been absolutely mobbed today. And then I thought, oh my goodness, it's showtime. So here we are.
Yeah, I think Ireland were playing today.
Yep, fantastic. Absolutely marvelous stuff, isn't it? Do you go along yourself, Tom?
Yeah. No, I would watch it, like, but I wouldn't really go to it too often. Like, I wouldn't mind going to it, saying that though.
What's the it's just slipped my mind, the road where your stand is in Belfast.
Kingspan Stadium?
No, what they call the road. Oh, that's terrible. Where Ireland play rugby.
Where Ireland play rugby or Ulster?
It'll be Ireland, is it not? No, sorry. No, it'll be Ireland. It's Ireland. It's Ireland we're talking, yes.
Is the Snugbar Road?
It's something road, isn't it? That's terrible, because I didn't use travel around. I just went to Murrayfield, you see. I was going to Murrayfield when I was about 11.
Scottish Gasman. Murrayfield, yep.
Yeah.
Are you on about the Lansdowne Road?
Lansdowne Road. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, in Dublin.
Lansdowne Road. Yeah. Lansdowne Park, fantastic. Molly Malone.
Well, Scotty,
and we always stand
Cockle
together.
and
We always stand
Muscle.
together. When Ireland were playing Scotland, I'm sitting at Murrayfield, and Scotland were giving Ireland a bit of a tanking. And I turned round, and a lovely Irish guy sitting beside me, I said, "Where's Molly Malone now? You were giving it big licks earlier." And he goes, "You'll not be getting her at this rate."
Cockles and muscles.
Cockles and muscles. Oh, of course, of course. I used to sing it. Yes. And won't you buy my pretty flowers and the green hills of Antrim?
Yeah. Scotty, I'll tell you a story that's quite local to me. Now, I go to this gym, great gym, and beside the gym, there's a pub.
Right. No names, no pack drill.
No names. Just going to say, but
lovely.
And in that pub, there is, like, what would you say, like a room for facilities such as weddings and
a function room.
Function room,
yes. We're helping each other out tonight. You did Lansdowne Road, I gave you function room.
Yeah. Anyway, Scotty, you might have actually heard this story. The other night there, things got a bit out of hand. It was like a Valentine's Day weekend special. And there was a load of men running around in the nude. And the pub didn't have the right license for it. And now they're in serious trouble.
Oh, my goodness me.
Did you hear about this story?
No, I don't think I've come across that one. Oh, my goodness me, Tom.
I'm not going about it too much.
No.
But, yeah, it was desperate. And I think they're going to get done for it, you know.
Well, we never know. We'll not go into that, but very interesting. We'll not go into that. What about this one, Tom? See if you like this one. Two guys in Belfast were taking a flight, and one turned to the other. He said, "If this plane went upside down, would we fall out?" He went, "No, we'll always be friends."
Why two Belfast men?
I just chose it because I'm talking to a Belfast man.
Say again?
I'm talking to a Belfast man, so I just chose it because Belfast men are known for being friendly.
Oh, Belfast, hard to beat, Scotty.
They're hard to beat. They're known for being friendly. So you say, "Will we fall out?" "No, we'll always be friends." Where do Wales play rugby, says Angela? Is that not Cardiff Arms Park? Have I got that right?
Wales?
Yeah, Angela's asking me. I don't know if she's asking me to find out or if she's testing me. If it's a try-on with testing McClue. And I think it's Cardiff Arms Park. Is it not for Wales?
Can't think now. It could well be.
Yeah, I think so. Here's Rabon. He says, "Can you remember Mr. Abbey or Dr. Dick's Midnight Surgery on Clyde? Great songs on it." Rab, I do. I remember them both. Mr. Abbey, he was great. There we are. They're talking about Radio Clyde, our local radio station. You've got Downtown in Belfast.
Downtown. It's been renamed now.
Oh, has it?
I think it's Q Radio now.
Oh, right. Well, I always remember it as Downtown. And you had another one as well.
Oh, no, it still is Downtown. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Downtown Radio. Oh, I think I know the one you mean. Yeah, there is another one. Anyway, so it was Downtown Radio in Belfast. So we've got Radio Clyde in Glasgow, and it's just had its 50th birthday at New Year. That's brilliant. And I remember it starting up, and I knew all the original directors.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Funny, me and Sean were talking last night about we're talking about the days when Northern Ireland only had two radio stations. You had BBC Radio, just BBC Radio, not Ulster or anything.
Yeah, just BBC.
And you had RTE Radio.
And was BBC Radio based in Ireland, or was it coming from London in those days?
It was coming from London in those days.
So it would be the home service. Sean would remember the BBC home service.
Yep. But Sean's from a place in Fermanagh called Derrylin. Quite a remote, well, it was very remote back then. It's a bit more built up now.
Yes.
But they all had a farm and all this here. And just, you know, the usual for man and man sort of stuff, you know.
Yep.
But Sean comes from a family of 10.
Wow, fantastic. And they were farmers.
Yeah, they were all
Well, you see, I'll
farmers.
tell you why they loved that. I mean, Sean will have told you this a million times, but one of the reasons they loved that, the big families, was because it was more people to work on the farm.
Exactly. Yeah,
And my family ran a post office and general store in a little village. And there was about, I think there was about 12 or 13 of them. And the reason they loved the big families because they could go delivering all the letters for them.
Yeah, Sean did that in the bike.
Yep. They could get out and deliver the stuff. And I can remember looking at a property, and this is not a long time ago. I'm talking 1998 when I first got the internet. And I can remember being on, I got this guy to build me a computer internet ready. And it wasn't all that expensive. It was great. And I was saying to my mother, Mother, you'll not believe this, but I'm looking at an estate agent in Ireland. And it had a rural property in Ireland. And it said, phone nearby. And I thought you'd be seeing, you know, Sean O'Brien on his bike, and you'd say, you know, could you tell, you know, the widow Corn that I've got a message for her. Could you give her a message? Oh yes, I'll be seeing her Thursday.
I suppose you don't remember when this was, no?
No, this was. I'm telling you, this was 1998, between 1998 and 2000. I don't know where, but it was a very rural part of Ireland. And as a facility, as one of its great pluses, it said phone nearby. I think it had its own. I think it had its own water. What was that? Sorry, I missed that there.
Sean was born half a mile from the border.
Wow.
From Annacavan border.
So he's a Northern Ireland man.
Yeah. Well,
but just
he has the Free State accent, you know.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. But also, if Sean's 80, yes, so he would remember De Valera.
De Valera?
Yeah, he would remember Eamon De Valera, who was the president of Ireland right up until from the 1920s to the 1960s.
So who was the first female? Mary McAleese. Do you know Mary McAleese?
Mary McAleese, wonderful. And Mary Robinson?
No, Mary McAleese lived about 2 streets away from McGranny.
Ah, amazing.
McGranny would be right and friendly with Mary McAleese's sisters.
Wonderful. It's great, the connections, because places like Scotland and Northern Ireland and Ireland, and that you're never far away from people, you know, and you really could have access to anyone. I can remember saying to a dear friend of mine, I said, gosh, you know, you could speak to anyone. They said, and what about yourself, Scottie? And I thought, well, do you know, they're right. I could actually probably get in touch with anyone.
Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong. But Mary McAleese was brought up in a place in Belfast, North Belfast, called Ardoyne. The
Ardoyne, I've heard of the Ardoyne, of course. See, as soon as you tell me of a place, it rings huge bells with me, because, like, I'm interested in everything, as you've probably gathered. I never go, I'm not interested in all that. I'm interested in everything, and in learning and in finding out. And I thought to myself, when I was wee growing up, they had what was called the Troubles in Ireland. And it was really just running on from the 1916s, the 1922, and all that. Yeah. See, my father was born in 1922, so you know, it was running on from that. And then 1969 is 50 years after 1919. 1919 was a year after the First World War. You know, so the Troubles flared up again, big style, in 1969. They just overflowed.
During the Troubles, my granny's brother, who lives in the States, came over, and when he was getting a taxi from the bus station to Ardoyne, he said to the taxi man, he knew the taxi man, he says to him, well, are you still living in Ardoyne? And he says, I am, yeah. And we have a benefit scheme over here. You call it DLA. I can't remember what the Scottish...
disability living allowance.
Is it the same over? You have a different term for it in Scotland, do you know?
Yep.
It's
PIP now,
but,
I think, yeah.
But disability living allowance, and when he says, well, you still live in Ardoyne, he says, of course, DLA, don't leave Ardoyne.
Don't leave Ardoyne. What about this? There's the Banter Brigade. Wait to hear this, Tom. You would have loved my great uncle Jack Mulroy. He was a Scottish comedian back in the day. Banter Brigade. I knew your great uncle very well. I knew Jack and I knew Mary. And they were big Scottie McClue fans. And Jack told me that. He was a lovely man. These were heroes of mine when I was a wee boy. And that's why I wanted to be an entertainer. Because Scotland was stuffed with very talented entertainers, and they made us laugh. And when I went to the theatre as a wee boy, Sean, the laughter attracted me, and I thought, I want people to laugh at me. And of course, all my life, people have just laughed at me, even when they shouldn't.
Yeah, funny. Just before I go here, Sean was telling me there was a famous Scottish comedian died last week. There, is that right?
Who was that? I'm just wondering which one.
I can't remember his name now, but it seems to be quite well known by the sounds of it. I tried looking it up there, but I couldn't get anything.
I'm wondering who died last week. Oh.
It was in the Irish news there.
Right, very, very, very interesting. Well, Tom, I'd better let you go, but what a joy to hear you as always. And please pass on my love to Sean and Patricia.
I will do, Scotty.
And remember to stay fabulous, La.
I will do that.
Hey, DINKY-DOO. See you, Tom. Sarala.
DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO. What a top man. That's our Tom from Belfast. We get around here, guys. Yes, John Donnelly, the Lansdowne Road, I tell you. It's not like David to miss the show. I hope he's okay. Neil O'Gornley, yes. We're all sending love to David. Two things might have happened. He might be looking after John, or his sister might be over. So there we are. We don't laugh at you, Scotty. You're a class act, Rab. You're very kind. What do we got here? Yes, that's great, says the Banter Brigade. The live shows were great. Francie and Josie, and you see, I worked at Scottish Television, and I worked at Border Television, and I worked at Grampian Television. And Border Television, Grampian Television would take the feed from Scottish Television, Francie and Josie, Sunday afternoons. And I used their theme tune, you know, I mean, all legit, at the end of my show sometimes. Goodbye, everybody. No, it wasn't goodbye. That's mine, the goodbye song. What was the one I used? So long it's been good to know you, no? So long it's been good to know you. Can't remember. The one we closed with. That was the song. I tell you. Hello, top man. How's your evening? Dylan DINKY-DOO. Lovely to have you with us. Cardiff Arms Park. Am I right for the rugby for Wales, guys? Who have we got here? Scotty, do you like the pipe and drum band Clan Adonia? Now, I have heard of them. You made me laugh so much and still do. Or Francie and Josie. Oh, my goodness, yes. I tell you, they were fantastic. Ricky, and I mean, absolute professionals. So funny, but Jack was he was a lovely man. And did you not have another uncle who was a Church of Scotland minister? Have I got that right? I think he was in Dundee at one point. Good night, La. Night, Tom. Thank you so much for joining us. A great show tonight, Scotty. Thank you, Susan. It's been a lovely, lovely show tonight. It just seems to we think, surely it can't get any better, and it just gets better and better. We love it. I'm going to have to go. We're out of time. I love you. Say ta-ta, you beautiful TikTokers. Ta-ta. Oh, they are lovely people. And as I say to our absolutely beautiful YouTubers, a big DINKY-DOO to you as well. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I've enjoyed being with you. Scottie McClue saying, DINKY-DOO, stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ta-ta. Stay fabulous. Last chance. Ta-ta.